Yo, what's going on everybody? TJ here, and for today's video, I am challenging myself to do 33 tricks to celebrate my 33rd birthday. So my birthday was actually April 8th, and if you're watching this and you see the upload time, you realize that it's after April 8th. Just been super busy. It rained a lot and I just didn't get out as much as I wanted to. So now I'm uploading the birthday video. So this video has actually already been pretty much entirely filmed. I'm gonna go get a couple more tricks right now in this session. But for this video, what I'm gonna be doing is showing you pretty much all of the attempts that it took me to land these tricks, with a voiceover telling you what was going through my head, what I had to do differently, and of course, finally succeeding in landing the tricks. So if you want to see just the video of just the lands, then check out the channel, because there's going to be another video on just the lands with no voiceover. It'll just have music going to the video. So look out for that if that's more your style. But if you like the voiceover type video, then this is the one for you. So without further ado, let's get to the video. All right, starting off with a nice rock to fakie. Then going up for a feeble stall. Took 2 tries to get my feeble. And going for a nice rock and roll. We're gonna come out of the basic tricks extremely quick. Couple tries to get me a rock and roll. And we're going for the fakie disaster. I've also heard this trick be called Pop-Tarts. You pop out of the coping. Feels so cool to do that trick. This is another trick that feels extremely good to do. A 50-50 on a mini ramp. But you got to do it like really far and really long. Now we're going to get some street tricks in. This is a really fun one. I usually do this as a warm-up when I get to this park. It's a manual out of the bowl and back into the bowl. You have to go around the mani pad. And there we are, pop back in. Then I got another one here, a lot faster, a lot smoother, but I do a little pivot on the coping before going back into the bowl here. Very small, but it's just a little extra flair. Right, here's one of the big guns of the video. Nollie 360 shove. It's a manual, right? Like it's gotta land into a manual. I do a Nollie 3 shove couple times throughout these attempts, but that's not the trick that we're going for here. We got to land it into the manual. Fun little nose mani across. Also not counting that as a trick in this video. It was just fun to do. So close right there. And there it was, Nollie 3 shove to manual. We came over to the tombstone. Got a wall ride to fakie up this thing. This thing's like 7 feet tall about, mostly vert. Had to get the backside carve next. There we are. Came back again for a little bit higher of a backside carve on there. Alright, this clip, I drove like 2 hours to get to the skate park and started to get a sweeper, and this is where the battery just dies on the camera, so we don't get the sweeper. We got another harder trick that incorporates a sweeper later on in this video though. Yo, shout out Spencer. I had to throw this clip in here. The dude was trying to do the rainbow rail. I was also trying to get this rainbow rail. But he got sacked and then recovered and then went for it again and got sacked a second time. So such a brutal clip. Usually I'm not gonna like shout out somebody with like a bail, like a fall or something, but he just like really just like went for it after like a really hard fall and had to endure it a second time. So shout out to you, Spencer. But we got the 50-50 on the rainbow rail eventually, and then came back for a celebration board slide over the slappy curb. Here I'm going for nollie frontside big spins. I actually forgot to come back and actually land this trick. So here's just a few attempts getting extremely close, but we're not going to count this for the 33 tricks in this video because I never really get like a good clean one. But we got the Beebleheimer. Little simple flary trick. Here's a nicer one that I got later on that night. Really fun to do. And we got the half cab into the bank. Came back for a little bit of a bigger one. Oh yeah, this is a really cool trick. So it's a switch, shove, rewind. Challenging because obviously anything switch is challenging. But what you got to do is you got to do the shove switch, then catch the nose. Technically it turns into the nose, and then pivot your way around to be going back regular. And we got one. Alright, I have no idea what this trick is called. I named it foot plant 360 shove nose grab, but I thought it was pretty cool. And this is the reality of filming when you're skateboarding. You're gonna knock your camera over. And this is also the reality of skateboarding. So we come over to the hip. Here we got another shout out for Griffin. The 360 over the hip with that crank pedal. I don't know exactly what that's called. Then a massive 1-footer over the hip. Then we got his girl Egg. The huge boost over that hip. And then a 180 on the hip as well. And then I'm back to battling out a fakie big spin on this hip. And this is a trick that if you watch my channel, I do this all the time. And I don't know why, it was just taking me so long to get this trick. I ended up just getting like a really sketchy like toe draggy one, and then one with slightly less toe draggy. But here's a flat ground fakie big spin, just so there's at least one clean fakie big spin in this video, because I do want to count that as one of my tricks. It's literally one of my favorite tricks to do. I don't know why it took me so long. We're going up for a fakie crook stall here. There we go. And then here we go, we're going with the can opener. So that one I actually shot out. The board went flying, but it was off camera so you can't see. And then it took me like a million more tries to actually like get it to feel proper enough to jump back in. The issue here was I just kept having my foot like too much on the board. You have to really just have just your toes on the board, because the board has to wrap around the top of your foot without hitting your leg. And that's what kept messing me up on this trick. And that's the easy part of the trick, because obviously jumping back in is where it's actually challenging. Because you're jumping into transition with your front foot on the board already. But we got it and I was stoked. Here's just one of those simpler tricks that is just so much fun to do. Early grabs, one a little bit bigger over the hip. And we came over with the no stall revert first try. And then went for the front side rock and roll. I don't know why I do like this like smack into them. Here's a cleaner one that I got a couple days later. Then went over to Camden Park, and this is a really basic trick, but it's actually one that took me forever to learn. Tail stalls. I was just like tapped into them, and it took me forever to actually like stand up onto the deck. So I'm stoked on them. Then here's another weird random one that I never see anybody else do. It's a boneless lean to tail, right? So you do a boneless, switch it to the front hand or to like the nose grab, land tail stall, and come back in. So we got a shout out to the dude Jabril. He was killing it today. He was doing this really sick tail stall like nose grab thing. I wish I got a clip of it. I'm going for the nollie rock to fakie. A little cleaner one right there. And then trying to do nollie rock and roll. I used to have these on forefoot, but I was just not feeling it lately. I got to really practice these again. We got a first try fakie frontside Smith stall. And then went for a regular Smith stall. I find it easier to get used to them by starting an axle and dropping into it and then dropping in. If you've never done that, if you can axle stall drop in, try doing an axle stall to Smith drop in. It's actually a lot of fun. It feels really cool. It was actually pretty hard to do on this transition because it was pretty mellow of a transition. But we ended up getting one. Alright, this is another really cool random flat ground trick. So it's a half cab revert, right? So it's like a full cab, but instead of pivoting off of the nose, you actually revert your way around for the full cab. And then I came over to the box and I had all these plans to do all these hard tricks. I was going to do 50-50 front shove out, 50-50 front 180 out, 50-50 nollie 180, 50-50 nollie 360. All these tricks that I used to do on boxes, but for some reason, just like I haven't done boxes in forever, and I just could not like lock in properly. So that's why I'm counting a 50-50 on a box as one of my tricks. And then I started to try and throw a couple 180s out of it here. Or 50-50. And then I went for a front shove out and just decided not to even bother with it. Just such a small box to like front shove off of. It just felt awkward and it just wasn't the day for that trick. But we got the front 180 out. Then we got this trick, which is another cool random flat ground one that you don't see anybody else do. It's called a haymaker. So you have to ride fakie and you pivot your way around and then pop shove out of it. Haymakers. And then we got a nice switch 180 on flat ground. And then one more that was a little bit better. All right, so this is a very technically challenging trick. And it is a freestyle trick. So you can't say I'm not a well-rounded skater. I got a little bit of everything going on in this video. So you got to do primo and then double varial flip out is what I'm going for here. So close. Here, if you ever have your board upside down, try doing this to get back on your board. It's actually so easy and so much fun to do. I don't know exactly what it's called. It's kind of a Casper, but it's like a Casper scoop. I don't really know what that's called. Do it though, it's really cool and fun. We got the primo double varial for it. And then here we are with the banger of the video. I wanted to board slide this down rail. I was absolutely terrified to do this. As you can see, I'm just rolling up, really eyeing it out, really thinking about how I want to go about it. Finally threw one and purposefully kicked out of the way. Like I just kind of wanted to feel what it felt like to go down the stairs before actually committing to going down the rail on the stairs. This took me like an hour of attempts to get this trick. Every time that I actually like threw one, like it was just like so nerve-wracking to me. I had to like let my nerves calm back down, like let the adrenaline like settle down and let my legs like stop being so like weak because they would get like jelly from just the attempt, and then get myself like feeling good again and then throw another one and try to land it. This is absolutely like, I love that this is the ender of this video because it was just like such a mental battle, right? Like the primo double varial flip, like that's like very technically challenging of a trick. This was very mentally challenging of a trick. Like this is very dangerous of a trick, you know? Like the primo flip, like you can't really get too hurt doing that, but there's a lot of room for error on a down. So every time that I rolled up, what I'm doing is I'm like really just like looking at the spot that I want to land on the rail and visualizing, like creating like a mental movie of myself riding down the rail in board slide and turning out of it. And we finally got one. Oh my God, I was so happy to get this trick. Oh my God. Look at that smile. Let's fucking go. Here's just another look at the rail. It's a 2 flat, 2 little double set down rail. Super sketchy, but so rewarding. And that will do it for my 33 tricks to celebrate my 33rd birthday. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more skateboarding challenges, as well as skate park tours from all over the world and product reviews, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified on the next video. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.